Hello, hello. Welcome back to another reading. I'm Mystic Brew. Whoever I'm talking to for this reading, you're a magical person. You have a lot of power that feels like is about to be activated, and that's why we are here. Not to say that it has been activated before, but it feels like there is something that is being revealed to you about some sort of spiritual gift, heightened sense, and it feels like it runs through the family. This may have been something that you didn't even know ran through your family until maybe now. It just feels like there's some sort of epiphany, revelation, information that is coming to your awareness about gifts that you carry. I'm also wearing my World Card Tarot card necklace. So there may be a cycle that just closed out for you that is allowing this to happen. But we'll see. We got all the decks, all the things. And as always, we're going to start with a bibliomancy message. But before we dive in, quick announcement. If you are in LA, I will be hosting a shadow work through tarot and poetry workshop in LA on March 12th. The ticket link for that is going to be down in the description below. You don't need to have any tarot or poetry experience to come. It's just a fun, creative way to get together with community, learn something about ourselves, and also learn a little bit about tarot and poetry. So if you're interested, link is down below. Would love to see you there. All right. Let's start with some deep breaths as always. Let's ground. So, as always, palms down to ground, palms up to receive. You decide what you need. And at your own pace, 3 deep breaths in through the mouth. No, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's start with the bibliomancy message. For this message, I chose Dolores Cannon's 3 Waves of Volunteers in the New Earth. Perhaps you're a fan of Dolores Cannon, or maybe her work keeps popping up on your page, in your realm, in your frequency. I don't know. But let's see. Helicopter. Let's see what we have for you here. What is that? Oh, that's where I left off. All right. Spirit, please guide me to a passage with guidance for whoever I'm talking to. Please and thank you. Oh, short. So it seems, and this is page 190 or 19, which reduces to a 1. Those numbers may be significant. So it seems that even master souls have volunteered to come, even though they were advised not to. It has been said that even an avatar can become lost and stuck in the muck and mire of Earth. Ooh, interesting. I knew you were magical and powerful. You may be a master soul who volunteered to come to Earth at this time to help with what's going on. And perhaps you're getting lost in it. That's okay. That's why we're doing this. We're going to remind you. All right. With that said, where do we want to start? Let's figure out where your energy currently is. Let's use a psychic tarot. All right. Spirit, please show me where this collective's energy is currently. Please and thank you. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Ooh, that's good. That's good. There's a theme with my readings, and it is, I mean, it's expected. We all, as I always say, readers, there's many of us, right? You know that. You probably know that. And we each attract whoever is meant to receive the message in a way that we can deliver. That's what I always remind people. That's why there's no point in being competitive in this. We all have something to share. The reason there's so many that you may or may not align with, it's just whether they're on your frequency and whether they're able to deliver a message in a language you recognize. You're drawn to me because I'm able to relate information in a way that you can digest. It makes sense. There may be other readers who you just don't mesh with, not because they don't know what they're doing or because they're not good at what they do. They just speak a different language and they have their own collective that's drawn to them. So, one more. Beautiful. I say all that because, ooh, harmony at the bottom. You're coming into union, inner union with your energies, your yin yang, masculine, feminine, sacral at the top. There may have been, yeah, emotional blocks, which I know a lot of times when we talk about emotional blocks, we automatically think of the heart, which, yes, but the chakra, the energy center in our body that correlates to emotion is actually our sacral. And our sacral is the house of our healing, our creativity, our sexuality. They all coincide in the same house, if you will. And so I also like to remind people that if you are either incredibly reserved or incredibly leaky energy in either one of those areas, it affects all of them. Anyway, trapped in fear. Mental card. Now, this is why I say that I attract a collective that resonates with me because a lot of my work focuses on shadow work, focuses on the unconscious, focuses on breaking through fear, focuses on perception, focuses on the mind. And the reason I focus on that is because that was a huge part of my personal journey. And so I feel like I was given this sort of assignment, mission, if you will, throughout my life to go through the things that I would end up helping others move through themselves. So you're someone who has a very strong mind that can sometimes work against you. There may have been certain implants, karmic cycles, energy, trapped energy that was really rooted in fear programming, which makes sense about the passage we just talked about. Even a master soul can get lost in this realm. It's so dense, and perhaps you also feel that. I wouldn't be surprised if you've had multiple instances in your life where you felt like, I don't belong here. Take me back home. Beam me up, Scotty. This ain't it. Maybe not, but you're here for a reason. And perhaps you've forgotten why. And perhaps that's because you've forgotten who you are. And that's perfectly okay. I'm here to remind you. So we got trapped in fear, but then we got triumph, which is the chariot card in tarot. We got financial and material changes, a physical card. And we got passion ignited, a spiritual card. So we got mental, physical, spiritual, and a major arcana. 8751. You may be seeing those repeating numbers. And again, we'll clarify these. For whoever I'm talking to, I really don't think your mind is as much of a hurdle for you as it has been in the past. You're well aware of how it can work against you. And if you need additional guidance or if you need a refresher, get my webinar. It's all about the four energy blocks in the mind that can keep you stuck. It's linked below. There's movement that's happening. I think you know this, and perhaps that's why you're feeling some doubt or you're reverting back to some old patterns or outdated beliefs because you know that you're about to shoot forward. There is movement here that is going to change your physical reality. And there's I wanted to say theirs and it's at the same time. It's beautiful because it's coming from something that's a calling of your soul. Look at how her heart is lit up here, passion ignited. It's almost like okay, we'll see. We'll see what the cards say, but what I'm getting is you know that you're different. You know that there is something unique about you that you have to contribute to this world. And perhaps for a long time, you lived a life where you felt like that was something that needed to be hidden, persecution wounds. And so you really tried to fit into a box or a mold that was never made for you. It was sort of the generic expectation of people in this world. And it was painful for you because you kept feeling like something was wrong with you because you couldn't fit into whatever this mold was. It's because it was never made for people like you. You may be neurodivergent. You're just different. You know, you operate differently. You're wired differently. You see the world differently. You experience the world differently. And perhaps for a long time, that felt like punishment. Maybe you really felt isolated or alone, even in your own family. Like no one understood you, no one spoke your language, no one saw you truly. However, something's changed, and it feels like it feels like a surge of confidence in allowing yourself to be who you are, regardless of how it's received. And that ignited something in you that has been speeding something up, and you feel it, even if you're not seeing it yet in your tangible reality. It's speeding something up, and you're getting there. You know it's coming. And the biggest block that you've had to maneuver and master is your mind. There's old fears that may still be coming up. Let's get some confirmation here. Confirmation for trapped in fear. Yes, victory and success, a spiritual card. You have gone through some really intense journeys into your psyche. You needed to master yourself, your mind. You may have also had experiences that made you feel like you lost your mind, which might have been the point. However, you also found your way back in the sense that you learned how to ground that energy, which can be scary. You may have gone through some spiritual psychosis. You know, there may have been a surge of energy because even before I started, I felt the energy up my spine. So you may have had some Kundalini awakening, some energetic activations that really shocked your system in a way where everything started to crumble and you were like, what is going on? That's a scary time. I know from experience, it can make you seem a little loony. You might feel a little manic during that time, but again, it's because You're sort of in between worlds. And again, if you are in an environment where you don't really have people to talk to about that, it can feel really scary and isolating. But you got through the other end of that. Sorry, my cat's being mischievous, as always. Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, there is some sort of spiritual, I don't want to say lesson, because even though you are a student and a teacher, it was sort of like you always knew no matter what battle, no matter what challenge, no matter what hurdle you would you would face, my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied. You would face, you knew you would see the other end of it. You knew you were capable. You knew you were stronger. Even if in the moment you questioned that, there was something that always knew, and that's why you never gave up. This was a huge challenge that you have overcome. Triumph. Yeah, mental conflict. This was a huge block in your movement forward. Oh, there's the emotional withdrawal with financial and material changes. You may be someone who really leans and depends on financial security to feel emotionally safe. Excuse me. Confirmation. It feels like that was another lesson for you, was recognizing your worth regardless of external validation, whether that was through your job title, your bank account, your salary, your house, your cars, whatever, materialism. You remembered that does not define my worth. It's actually the other way around. And that's why things are changing. There's a sense of safety that you have acquired, which may feel a little delusional. Again, this is not a regular path. This is a very specific path that not many can go down. I want to be clear about that. Again, this is the path of self-mastery because you are a master soul. The passage said that, but you forgot. And so you really took a difficult route to remember. You needed to. You needed to show yourself what you were capable of. Yep. Authority, the emperor. Divine masculine energy, leadership, structure, strategy, balance, patience. I'm telling you, this took a long time. You are not someone who, this wasn't like an overnight thing. Your healing journey may have been your entire life up until this point. You may have felt like you were being prepped, groomed, trained by forces you couldn't even see since you came out the womb. I'm also feeling warrior energy. I love that. You're a fighter. You fight for what you love. And I hope you're also recognizing that you fought for yourself, which means you love yourself deeply. Because going back to this emotional worthiness, If self-love, which is technically a redundant term because the self is love, if that was a struggle for you at some point, if that was something you felt like you couldn't fully embrace, embody, understand, that was an illusion. The fact that you never gave up, the fact that you were willing to do the work, the fact that you were always taking the punches to the chin and getting back up and trying to figure it out and going a different path and facing yourself, facing your fears, getting into your psyche, questioning what you've been taught, all these different things. That is a testament to the love that you have for yourself because of the patience it required with yourself. I'm not saying you always showed up your best, and that's okay. You're human. That's the hard part. That's the difficulty of being in this density, in this realm. What came easy to you naturally was difficult here. That's beautiful. But look at the foundation it's built within you, the strength, passion ignited. Firm foundation. I literally just, but this is a physical card. So now you're seeing the firm foundation that you built within yourself is what is allowing a firm foundation in your physical reality. I'm also feeling root chakra coming up here. So childhood, home, family. I mean, we talked about ancestry in the beginning. There's a gift. We talk a lot about like ancestral trauma, generational curses, things like that, which, yes, and your family also had wisdom and knowledge and gifts that they passed down to you. It wasn't just trauma and punishment and karma and whatever else. There's also beautiful things that they were able to carry down for you. And I feel like that's what you're finally recognizing and seeing. I also feel like you have a very strong ancestral team, even if, although whoever I'm talking to, you may not have gone too deep into your ancestry, but you've at least looked into it. I think at some point in your journey, you became very curious about your lineage. You wanted to learn more about your bloodline, where you come from, the energy that was before you in order to create you. Emotional loss at the bottom. You may have experienced a lot of loss throughout this journey in different ways. Again, harmony at the top. But yeah, celebrations are underway. There's something coming. You know this, intuition, third eye chakra. That might be part of your gift, the gift of sight, the gift of knowing, clairvoyance, claircognizance. And maybe it took you a while to even accept that this was a thing. I find that oftentimes people who are given these gifts are born into families that suppress them in some way. Everything on purpose, all meant to happen. But yeah, there's change coming. I want to know with the world card here, I want to know what cycle you have been closing out. I do feel like it's connected to the mental fear, but I just want to see. And then we'll get into the juicy stuff. I think there is a lack mindset or scarcity mindset within the family. I really feel like you're going to be the first in your family to do something. It might be generational wealth, but again, not just materially, but also materially. There is something that it's almost like you are going to show your family what's possible. Unfortunately, I feel like your family may have doubted you in different ways, and not in like a mean way necessarily, but just in a kind of like they really valued security and stability in a traditional sense. And so you may have been someone who challenged that for them. I know the feeling, especially if you're an immigrant. It's like, what do you mean you're quitting your job? No, no. All right, let's take a look. Spirit, can you show me the cycle that this collective, I'm going to say, has closed out because it feels like it's done. Show me the cycle that has closed out for this collective. Illusions. Mm-hmm. Lack of faith, manipulation. Yeah, you are seeing through the BS, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start here. Swords. Ace of Swords. I'm telling you, your mind, ugh, this is why. Your mind, very strong, as I mentioned, but worked against you in this way. It created so many illusions. This may have been something else that ran in the family. Because, again, without proper nurturing, and I don't mean in the typical sense. I'm saying even as an example, say you are a teacher and there is a student in your class and you just see the potential and you're like, wow, they are much more advanced. You see it in them. And so you nourish them, you nurture them, you nurture the potential that you see because you know they're not getting it elsewhere. And perhaps no one else can even recognize it in them because they don't even know what that looks like. I feel like that is what you've been experiencing as the student, and the teacher was the divine. You have a direct connection with the divine. You work directly with your team, your guides, source, God, however you reference it. I don't know that you even had necessarily mentors, at least not when it came to this. You may have had mentors for like different skills or talents when it came to jobs. I'm hearing like self-expression, things of that nature. But when it came to your abilities, your psychic abilities, your heightened senses, your clairs, your mind, and what it is capable of doing, it's magic. I don't think you had anyone that you could go to as a mentor, and I think that was on purpose. You faced a lot of criticism and judgment, whether it was direct or sort of subtle, like backhanded. but you persevered. Nine of Wands here. Mm. Oh man. The point that you're at now is really testing your faith. And I will say this wholeheartedly, you're not gonna break. You, I think you've reached a level of Delulu, which doesn't even feel Delulu. Delulu is a Salulu. It feels like there's no freaking way. I've gone through everything I've gone through and witnessed what I have witnessed and dealt with what I have dealt with to give up now. That's crazy. That's what's crazy. There's no way. So I think you've reached a point where you really don't care what anyone else has to say, what anyone else thinks about a situation or you, or what you truly believe for yourself. I do think there are still moments where you're like, oh my God, am I crazy? And I also feel like right after that, you're kind of like, maybe I am. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's the difference. You're crazy enough to really believe. And it's not unfounded. You've been shown, you have experiential evidence. You've had situations happen to you that you can't explain. You don't, it's like you got to be there. You had to be there to know. And unfortunately, most of the time it was only you because it was always meant to just be you. It's between you and the divine. Your mind really clouded your judgment because it was so scattered. It was like, there's too many choices. There's too much indecision. There is maybe what felt like wishful thinking. Again, lack of grounded energy. But that's part of the cycle that you broke out of with the Seven of Cups in reverse here. There's alignment. You've cleared the illusion. There's in the Ace of Wands, King of Swords at the bottom and Ace of Swords at the top. Truth and clarity. You are sharp. Your mind is sharp. I keep hitting the desk. What I'm also getting is, and this is a specific detail, don't make it fit. You may have noticed that at some point on the journey, okay, this is very specific. This was generational. It was like a entity attachment that felt like part of this Seven of Cups energy, where perhaps when you would try to think to yourself, it was so many voices. Just like, what's it called? Interference, literally karmic interference. It was just so much noise. And there was a death that happened, a death cycle. Something happened that put an end to that. And it's unclear right now if it was clearing all the other voices out or if it was all the other voices integrating into one. But specific detail, when you speak to yourself in your mind, it is clear now. It feels like in the past you couldn't get through a sentence without getting distracted, cut off. Like it was really hard for you to focus your energy mentally. And now you can intentionally say something in your mind and it's clear. There's no noise, there's no interference. This has been exhausting for you. I just want to take a moment to really honor that and say that because you've gone through things again no one would ever know. You have grit. That's what I'm saying, warrior energy. You've had to set a lot of boundaries, energetic boundaries. with yourself, with the people around you, with spirits, with energy. Because at some point you remembered you are the master of your reality. And you started to call the shots. Your energy, again with the magician in reverse, was so powerful but out of touch. It wasn't grounded. It was so scattered. Perhaps you were a bit manipulative without even necessarily knowing it. There was a deceptive energy here. You didn't know how to utilize what was given to you. And again, because you were that student with a teacher that was very unconventional. It wasn't necessarily someone that you could just sit down with and have a conversation about this and get feedback, get tools. You may have had people come into your life at the perfect time, of course, to share wisdom with you in some way. But I don't necessarily see one sort of master because you were never meant to have one. Your master is the master, the ascended masters. People may have also thought you were out of touch. Not everyone's going to get it. They're not meant to. This may have created a lot of disappointment. I think you felt at some point like, I don't want this. Like, just what the heck is this? And perhaps even felt jealous. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. Jealous. It's okay. Jealousy is just your soul recognizing something that you are not tapping into yourself. It's never about the other person. It's about seeing someone else doing what you are not willing to do for yourself. So when that jealousy would arise, perhaps you weren't aware yet that what you were actually envious of was the energy that is begging to be expressed and activated. It feels like another theme that's coming up here is conflict. You may have avoided conflict a lot, may have sort of always tried to keep the peace, silenced yourself in some way, which then created even more resentment. But again, that's no longer the case. This is what you're closing out. This is the cycle that ended. No more illusions. No more just dealing with things that you know are not aligned for you, that are disrespectful, that don't honor you, that don't honor your boundaries. No more manipulation, no more deception. That's probably why you would experience it, because there was a part of yourself, your mind, that was manipulative and deceptive. And so you were seeing it being reflected back at you through people around you. I find that happens a lot too. You're going to be tested when it comes to your discernment, which is judgment, but not judgment in the sense of, oh, I'm now judging your character. It's like judging the resonance of something. Is this truth or is this not? So people would lie to you so that you could learn how it feels in your body when the truth is not being shared, when there is deception. This was all refinement. You were being taught throughout your life, unfortunately, how to spot deception, betrayal, manipulation, false light in others and in yourself, in your mind. You may have had a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of deception with friendships, the people that you were around, the groups that you would hang out with, community. But it also feels like part of the cycle you ended and what you're moving into is more alignment with community, finding your people. Because now you're not afraid to be seen for who you are. You're remembering your true values, your integrity. Mm. The moon in reverse with the Nine of Wands. May have had to set some boundaries with mom. But again, mothers are the teachers of unconditional love and being able to receive. So if that was difficult for you, you may have experienced conditional love. Love was only given to you, shown to you, expressed to you when you behave a certain way. But also lots of shadow work. You went through a lot of shadow work that required you to release any fear that you were holding on to, expose truths of those around you and of yourself. Again, clarity is huge here. Also, an emotional purge. Lots of emotions that were sort of tucked away for later. The time came, and it was, which again, maybe with the Knight of Cups here in reverse, perhaps you needed to express disappointment to people that it was difficult to express to, like a mother or a parent or someone close to you who you care about. And you kind of just kept bypassing, making excuses for behavior that was hurtful until you realized, oh, I need to say something about this. There was a cord that needed to be cut. You also may get prophetic dreams. The dream space is big here with the moon in reverse. You may have gotten a lot of guidance in your dreams as well. Ooh. Strength underneath the magician in reverse. Talking about unconditional love, self-love, respect, compassion. It almost feels like when you began to understand how strong your mind is and how easily you could manipulate any situation, you used it to your benefit. Because again, manipulation isn't inherently bad. It's how you use it. It's all about intention, right? Using manipulation to coerce other people, to manipulate an outcome of something that requires deception in some way. It's again, it's like, no, that's no good. And you may have done that in the past and you faced karmic retribution for that. You got the consequences of that. But part of the reason we are here in the earth sphere is to learn how to manipulate energy, but to our benefit. So if you realized, oh shit, my mind is really strong, I can literally manipulate any situation based on my perception of it, then let me manipulate it to my benefit. So instead of always going the route of fear, which is perhaps where you would go, and using manipulation, deception to try and mitigate that, the fear, you released the fear and instead would manipulate your mind into seeing things through a lens of faith, of hope, of love. It's like walking into a room and everyone looks at you. Technically, you don't know why they're all looking at you. Your perception will decide that. If you're going to lean on the side of fear, I talk about this in my webinar, then you may tell yourself, oh my gosh, they're all making fun of me. They all hate me. They're all staring at me. Do I look stupid? Whatever else. Or if you're going through a lens of faith, of love, of hope, of strength, then you could also perceive that situation as, oh my gosh, they're all looking at me. Maybe they want to meet me. Maybe they like what I'm wearing. Maybe my energy is that magnetic that when I've arrived, no one can help but notice that I am now in the room. Again, if you felt like an outsider for most of your life, which this collective did, it makes sense that you would lean on fear. Because being seen, again, with the persecution wounds as well, was frightening. So you hid. You hid the best parts of yourself out of fear. Yes, Queen of Wands. That's what I'm talking about. She is confident. She is fierce. That's what I was just saying. Enter a room. Of course, people are looking at me. Why wouldn't they look at me? Yes, you're transitioning. Six of Swords. 10 of Cups in reverse at the bottom. I think you experienced a lot of disharmony in your home growing up or relationships. There was just always this lack of connection, which is something I think you craved for a long time. What you were actually craving is that reconnection with yourself. Not saying that connection with others doesn't matter, it matters very much. But you were never going to experience that showing up the way that you always had been because it wasn't authentic. Now you are radiating a level of confidence and independence and passion and optimism that is radiating from you. Like it can't be ignored. Of course, people are going to notice you. Of course, people are going to want to talk to you. This is also why you needed to ground that energy, to learn energetic boundaries, because otherwise this can get tricky. People are going to be pulling at you, siphoning your energy without even necessarily meaning to all the time. And that is depleting. You know that. You went through it. This was all to teach you how to harness the energy that you are now stepping into. You were always meant to be seen and shared with the world. You are magic. But if you had gotten to this place any sooner, you would have either run from it, sabotaged it, or it would have depleted you to the point where it wouldn't be cute. It wouldn't be pretty. All right. Ooh, where do we want to go next? I'm being guided to one of these two decks. Which one is it? That was the cycle you just closed out. Okay. Let's see with my Isis oracle what gifts you're carrying from past lives. You may also be drawn to ancient Egypt, Egyptian mythology. Big sign. Okay, Spirit, please use these cards to let us know what past life gifts are awakening within this collective. Oh, everything I say is for a reason. All right. Wow. Rising sun at the bottom. Eye of Horus at the top, awakening divine perception. Hello, we were just talking about that. Perception is everything. I always say that. Wow, 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 wow. I knew you were powerful. I knew you were powerful. You knew you were powerful. I just think you felt weird admitting that to yourself. All right. I do want to combine this with the goddess guidance, because it does feel like there is feminine energy tied to this. It may be an ancestor of yours, it may be something within your maternal lineage or like a great grandmother or someone who has been facilitating this. So I just want to see what goddesses come up. Past life gifts for this collective. Mhm. Sensitivity. Yeah. Purification cycles and rhythms. This feels more like some guidance when it comes to these past life gifts. So we will read it as such. All right. Past life gifts. We have divine destiny, path of the divine warrior. Hello. The brother in darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Stay true and be in your power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. Those might be prominent deities for you as well. Life restored, priestess of the phoenix. Lots of rebirth energy here. Because again, it feels like this was lying dormant and you've awakened it. And we're going to see what exactly has been activated. There's also a lot of feminine power here. There's a reason the feminine has been suppressed for so long. Those who know, know. It's awakening, which I think is also why your powers are awakening the way that they are. And again, not to say that you have to be a feminine or identify as a feminine, it doesn't matter. But the feminine energy, yin energy, is very much correlated to the unseen. So whether you identify as a man, a woman, non-binary, doesn't matter. The feminine energy within you needed to be healed in order to reconnect with your connection to the divine, in order to gain your sight, your clairs, your sensitivities. Your destiny in this lifetime is divine, and it required a battle for you to reclaim that power. Excuse me. Authenticity was huge here. You may have had lots of opportunities to go a different path, go a different route, but it would require you to be someone you're not. What came up to mind right now is this is going to age me. Were those survival commercials for the auto insurance? I can't take that ride. That's what it feels like. The car pulled up, opened the door, said, "Hey, get in. I'll take you to so and so, and you can get this, this, and that." But it'll cost you your identity, your true identity and true power. And you said, "I can't take that ride." There is a lot of negativity that needed to be overcome here that's still being released from your system mentally, spiritually, energetically, physically. But yeah, with the priestess of the phoenix, there's a rebirth happening. You may have felt like you were burned to ashes just to rise again. Fire is cleansing in that way. The true power here is that no one can tell you who you are because you know. You know who you are. No one can sway you. No one can manipulate you. No one can try to control you. That's a very powerful being, very dangerous, very threatening to those who bank on being able to do that. I kind of do want to read from the guidebook here. These tend to be kind of long, but I feel like there's going to be additional guidance. All right, Divine Destiny. Sirens outside. It's time. Alarm bells. Spiritual work of the higher initiate. The divine warrior guides you to your divine destiny. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as the inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be more wisdom, focus, intelligence, and surrender into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. This part of you will lead you to spiritual success. The Oracle of Divine Destiny is a call to your divine warrior. This part of you has great self-esteem and believes that what you desire is worth whatever effort, personal growth, application, focus, and attention are required to obtain it, provided it aligns with your divine destiny. This part of you acts in personal integrity, and if the goal will compromise integrity, then the goal is refined until it shines like a diamond in your heart. Then the divine warrior will bring it into being. The path of the divine warrior is not one of any means to an end. The means and the end are considered equally important. The divine warrior will succeed in bringing about your divine destiny, but it will be done in a way that is in integrity with deep spiritual values. I'm not taking that ride. There are important teachings on the path of the feminine about the need for surrender and allowing for the best manifestation. The divine warrior is not at odds with these, but continually surrenders into the greater unfoldment and play of cosmic forces, seeking to align with those forces for greatest power and flow. The oracle of divine destiny often comes at a time when there is something that you feel you are struggling to attain. It may be a vague sense or clear vision. There is something within your heart that you have almost given up hope on, wondering if it is ever really going to come together. This oracle comes with the message that although you may feel struggle or challenge, it is not a sign to step away in this situation. It is a sign to put your faith in the divine warrior within instead. This warrior may shift approach, change expectation, go within to find the resources you require, or find a completely different path to get you to your destiny. Do not give up the fight. If you are not sure to what this applies, ask yourself what it is in your life that you feel you are fighting to attain or maintain. Find what it is not in form, but in essence. If it is your job that you are fighting for, then it may be your freedom and responsibility that you are really fighting for, as an example. If you are fighting your weight or eating habits, then it might be the right to express your true feelings that you are fighting for, with your body as the divine warrior, refusing to give up the right to truthful expression. Find the truth of what you are working towards and keep your heart and mind centered in that truth. Your divine warrior will get you what you need and deeply desire in alignment with your best and highest divine destiny. You deserve no less. Throat chakra closing as I was reading that. It was a little hard to breathe, I'm not going to lie. So, you may have had to go through a lot of throat chakra activations, communication, again, deception. Lies are the demon of the throat chakra. The brother in darkness. Overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. The brother in darkness indicates that there is negative energy either within you or outside of you, but directed towards you that is providing you with a spiritual test, beloved initiate. You shall overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Triumph was also on the Chariot card. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. There is a test that you are currently moving through because you are ready to progress more deeply into wisdom, light, acceptance, and inner peace. The test is in the guise of a negative energy source, either within you or apparently outside of you. In truth, we are all one, and the world is our mirror for whatever healing task lies within, even though sometimes the source of difficulty appears to be external, rather than an opportunity for us to gain mastery with our own responses through inner healing. I think this is your mind. Guidance comes to you in this oracle now to become more conscious of the negative energies either within or directed towards you without being fearful. There is no need for fear. There is just need for a more conscious, loving response. In the story of Isis, the destructive emotions of her dark brother, Set, led to the murder of her beloved Osiris. He did not stop there. He also attempted to destroy her beloved divine son-child and deny him his rightful rulership. Set teaches us that destructive emotions can gain awful power if we leave them unchecked and do not consciously respond to them. Isis teaches us that love, faith, persistence, courage, intelligent and honest awareness can overcome even the darkest power. Your guidance is to rise above fear, anger, jealousy, or hatred within you or directed towards you now. This will require your feminine strength to be fiercely compassionate and not to judge or resist out of fear. Compassion is great strength. It sees the truth in all situations and does not pander to lies or deceptions in order to paint everything as nice. That was that Nine of Wands. Compassion is wisdom. It knows that a wolf can cause harm even if it is dressed as a sheep. You are guided to be attentive and honest about negative influences within, or directed towards you without judging them, or their source, or paying undue attention with fear. You simply need recognition and then to respond with compassion and clear, loving, firm boundary. This boundary will very often be an internal shift energetically for you. It may not require any further action than this. Listen to your heart and trust in your guidance. That's interesting because that was in a conversation I had earlier today with a friend of mine that was about being the type of person where you can see where someone's behavior is coming from. You can spot the trauma, you understand the behavior, the patterns, you know what they've gone through, and so you empathize, you have compassion. But there's a line. At some point, that can become detrimental, especially if there is consistent disrespect. And so the lesson for you in that moment is to recognize, although I can understand and empathize with the pain that has created this behavior that I am now experiencing, that does not mean I need to tolerate it. A lot of times, especially when we talk about unconditional love, people assume that means unconditional tolerance. No. The only person who will have unconditional tolerance for you, and maybe even then won't, is a parent, the person who birthed you. Unconditional love does not equate to unconditional tolerance, especially when the other person is using that to their advantage to continuously harm someone else. At some point, you got to put your big boy pants on and say, enough. You are not a doormat. That's also why a lot of empaths and narcissists tend to attract each other. The empath teaches the narcissist, it's not all about you. Your actions affect people. Your actions can be actually really harmful to people. Meanwhile, the narcissist reminds the empath, stop being a freaking doormat. Stand up for yourself. Stop focusing so much on everyone else that you tolerate so much disrespect. Two sides of the same coin. Boundaries are necessary in that way. You needed to learn how to honor yourself, how to show up for yourself, stand up for yourself in ways that might have been uncomfortable. Staying true in your power. I do just want to read Life Restored really quick because that's the only other one that I feel called to read. And there was something else I wanted to say, but I lost it. So if it comes back. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. My goodness, so much throat chakra. All right. Life Restored, Priestess of the Phoenix. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too you will rise again, healed and renewed. I'm kind of feeling emotional with this. What I'm seeing over here on the other page, let go of the past. Life restored brings messages that a trauma, ending, struggle, or apparent defeat is not the end of the story for you now. What may appear to be an ending can sometimes simply be the forces of ancient feminine power flowing into new pathways, pulling energy away from old forms so that they can transition into new forms. This can take short or long periods of time. It could be over days or years, weeks, months, even decades. It doesn't matter how long something appears to have been decaying, it will spring back into life at the right time. Just as the river Nile subtly adjusts its course over time, so too will the river of light that flows through you, filling you with life force and divine energy. Move with innate wisdom. You can trust what is happening for you now. Something important to you is coming back to life. It might even feel like you are coming back to life after a period of increasing emotional numbness, physical or psychological struggle, or spiritual disillusionment. We got that with the 7 cups in reverse. It might also be a lifestyle, practice, business, or relationship, new or old, that is coming to life now. You are guided by divine priestess of the Phoenix, Sister Isis, to turn your face to the sun. Just as the sacred scarab beetle follows the movement of the sun, you are encouraged to focus on the light and life that is seeking you now. Do not resign yourself to the way things have been. Let go of the past. The world card, the cycle's over. Be brave and bold and allow the Phoenix priestess to inspire you to realize that the return to life, the restoration, the resurrection is upon you now. Have hope and optimism. Just because something has fallen away in the past does not mean it will not have value and be able to grow in the present moment. Take what is going to be offered in your life, the rebirth that is happening, into your wide open arms now and be assured that you have transitioned through the energies of death and into new life now. Peace to you, dear initiate of the light. The past is over. Enjoy your rebirth. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As for guidance for right now on what to do to really cleanse and detox, you got Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions, boundaries. If you don't got it to give, stop giving it away. Learn to say no. Honor yourself. Coventina, purification. It is time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. I'm seeing a spiritual bath here. Or water, just a cleansing with water if you're near a body of water. Doesn't have to be, but that's what I'm seeing. Even in the shower, it can be as simple as when you shower. I do this all the time when I shower. First of all, I give thanks. Always show gratitude. And then as you're showering, imagine that it is cleansing your auric field as well. And as it cleanses you, it is taking all the gunk, all the ick, all the stuck, stagnant energy, everything that's being attached that does not serve your highest good, and it's going down the drain. And then white Terra sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. I always say when this happens, you may notice that things you used to eat, your body's like, no thanks. Drinking, smoking, recreational activities, you may be like, I don't even want to do that anymore. It may affect your body much harsher. Relationships that you sort of dealt with, made excuses for, now may feel so depleting and draining that you're like, well, I'm not going to, for what? For what? I'm not doing this. Living situation. You get it. You get it. You get it. Anyway, let's see change. Let's see Merkaba. traveling through time. Let's see what you are activating. Those are your past life gifts that are coming online. Ooh, fertility. The rebirth. All right. Spirit, what is activating within this collective at this time? Please and thank you. Oh, there's two. Oh, talked about this. I said that. Let's do two more. I like seven. Two more. What is activated? One more. Oh, see? Saw that in the beginning too. Authority again. Remember, we saw that earlier with the Emperor card. Romantic love. Aw. That might be what's coming back to life. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. We got prosperity, compassion, divine feminine, belief, healing, root chakra, sacral chakra. Prosperity, we have the number 36. This might be an age or a number that you see. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. We saw that in the very beginning. Financial and material changes with passion ignited a spiritual card. You realize that your prosperity is aligned with whatever makes your heart and soul sing, what ignites your passion spiritually. It's not about let's just get to the end goal. It was never that with you. I don't think anything has been that way with you. Whoever I'm talking to, you've mastered delayed gratification. Nothing has been handed to you. And quite honestly, even if it was, I think you'd question it, as you should, because you know that something worthwhile, something that really is going to stand the test of time, doesn't just get handed like that. Not in that way. There's no cheap tricks or ways to sort of cheat the system. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not taking that ride. You always knew what was aligned for you was going to require dedication, devotion, effort, and patience. And you might have thought about giving up many times, but you were never going to give up because you knew what was waiting for you. You knew. Compassion, number 15. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Beautiful. So you're seeing there's some repetitive themes here throughout, of course. Divine feminine, number 21. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. I just want to note too that divine feminine energy is what leads spiritually because the divine feminine energy is the oracle. It gets the guidance, which then allows you to create a strategy to take action, divine masculine. Belief, 11. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Ooh, this is what's being activated. Your belief in yourself, your divine feminine energy, your compassion, your prosperity, your healing. And the way I've set it up, healing is with your root and sacral chakra. You may have experienced a lot of healing in these areas, which makes sense because of prosperity. Anyway, 29. So another 11. I'll do numbers in a second. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously choosing the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Your perception. What information am I choosing to extract from this experience? Is it feeding the fear that I know, or the hope, faith, and love and optimism, the compassion, the truth? Root chakra number 1. Lots of repeating ones. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. That's something else that's been coming through. You needed to heal your nervous system to be able to withstand what you were about to receive. A lot of times when we talk about nervous system stuff, it's like we talk about like fight or flight or fawn, whatever, which yes, and we don't always recognize that even really great things can be a shock to our nervous system and cause us to not be able to hold it. So your body has been going through healing as well in order to hold the frequency of what you are calling in now. Sacral chakra number 2. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. I love it. Okay, so numerology 36. These can be dates, ages, or just numbers that you're seeing often. 36, 15, 21, 11, 29, 1, 2. If we reduce 9, 6, 3, 2, 11 or 2, 1 and 2. So lots of 1s and 2s. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get guidance from the universe. And that will be it. This is an exciting time. I love this for you. Okay. This is the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. So you may astral travel as well. I mean, dreams did come up. So you may be traveling in your dreams. You may wake up tired. Like, what the heck just happened? Very vivid dreams. Those are those dreams where you wake up and you're like, there's no way that didn't actually happen. There's no way that place doesn't actually exist. We live in a multiverse. Also, if you have been doing the level of work that you've been doing, you have been traveling. Your spirit's been traveling to other times, other places, in order to close out narrative stories, karmic cycles, to allow this rebirth to happen, to call back the fragments of your soul that have been spread, scattered throughout space and time. Plane up above. Guidance from the universe, please, for this collective. Something flipped. Mm-hmm. Creativity is big. And we throat chakra. Guidance from the universe. Wow, repeating threes. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Last shuffle. Any guidance from the universe? Wow. I mean, the repetition here, confirmation station. Am I right? Of course I am. Anyway, bottom of the deck, curiosity. Always lead with curiosity. That's what fuels the compassion. Top, regeneration. Number 11, black tourmaline Pluto. Yeah, the rebirth energy. I'm telling you, you have gone through a massive rebirth. Wow, wow, wow. This is so magical. Do you want to use the guidebook for this as well? Okay, we have expression with the number 3, flower agate or agate. I make words way fancier than they need to be. Okay, I'm an immigrant. Anyway, throat chakra. So let's do, we got expression, healing again, deep knowing, culmination, and boundaries again. Numbers 3, 33, so repeating threes, 6, 7, 21, or 3. Throat chakra, Chiron, sacral chakra again, root chakra again, south node, past life karma. Stones, if you work with stones or crystals, you may have just gotten this. You may be prompted to work with this. Sunstone, spirit quartz, flower agate, hematite, labradorite. Ooh, excuse me. Astrologically speaking, your Chiron with the throat chakra, you may have Chiron and Gemini because that's a Chiron generation that's been working through a lot of healing when it comes to expression. Because Gemini is ideas, the mind, the intellect, writing, speaking, forms of expression. South node as well. You may have a South node Chiron aspect. This may be what you had to work through in order to heal whatever was blocking you from expressing yourself. Part of your gift is your voice, your writing, your speaking, your ability to express yourself. You may be a performer. You're definitely a creative. Creative energy is God energy. Are you kidding? Your ability to take what has been given to you, that is the magician, and literally form something tangible that now other people get to experience. That's why I always tell people, if you're a singer, if you're a writer, if you're an actor, if you're a dancer, whatever, creativity is the most spiritual practice next to love because you are using spiritual guidance, insight, your vessel to relay information, a story, something that evokes emotion in other people, that makes people question things, that makes people see the world differently, heal. It's a healing tool. The creativity is a healing tool. That is such a beautiful thing. And perhaps there has been something that you have felt blocked in creating due to the challenges and obstacles that we talked about earlier. And now you are coming to a place where the universe is fully supporting you. It always was. But now you're not standing in your way the way you used to. And with all the threes, there may be a collaboration here, perhaps coming together in a way that's going to really bring this to life. Let's take a look at the guidebook. Number 3, expression, self-growth, potential, blossoming intentions. The way we express ourselves is multifaceted, visually through our appearance. I was just saying that earlier. Who we choose, not in this reading, in a conversation, who we choose to surround ourselves with, and body language, but most significantly via spoken interactions. Communicating with others and ourselves is an integral part of how we shape our reality. That internal dialogue, that was what was holding you back. When your throat chakra is closed or blocked, you will experience trouble communicating effectively with others, and it will hinder your ability to speak your truth, which is your most pure form of expression. It can leave you feeling insecure or introverted and the rest of your chakras unbalanced. However, when your throat chakra is open and the energy flows freely, you're able to stand firm in what you believe and express yourself openly and honestly with not only those around you, but more importantly with yourself. To activate and open your throat chakra, carry flower agate on your day-to-day ventures and put it under your pillow when you sleep. Flower agate's healing energetic vibrations help plant the seeds for your manifestations, ideas, and intentions to blossom and turn your dreams into reality while banishing your feelings of self-doubt and insecurity. Beautiful. Healing. Gosh, I am parched. Speaking of throat chakra. Oh, is this the last one? It is the last card. Harmony, tenderness, overcoming. Healing is an imperative part of your soul's journey in your human experience. You were born with figurative scars where your soul was previously wounded or experienced heartache or loss. And these scars help you to understand where you are most vulnerable. You will likely suffer in these particular areas in your life, even though you didn't cause the wounding. If you have begun to notice or experience these patterns of pain, it is time for you to address them so you can begin to heal and understand yourself more deeply. The centaur Chiron reveals your deepest soul wounds and brings about the recurring challenges you will face when your soul wounds resurface. You must not conceptualize your wounding negatively or as a burden, but simply perceive it as your opportunity to learn that you can overcome and survive everything and anything. This is actually something else I tell people during astrology readings, which again, if you want to book a one-on-one, down below. Chiron is, in astrology, the greatest wound that you come into this lifetime with. However, should you do the work to heal this, you then become a teacher of it. So just the way that we were talking about the student and the teacher, Chiron is almost like your teacher in your weakest point. This is the hardest thing for you. And if you're willing to do the work to move through that, that's the mastery. Because now you have activated and embodied this knowing, these lessons that now you can help others. Same with South Node. The South Node, yes, past life karma, your comfort zone. Does that mean you abandon it? No. This is what comes easy to you. But it can also work to your detriment if you lean on it as a crutch. At some point, usually during your reverse nodal return, you recognize what the South Node has to offer that you want to take with you to your North Node. Because eventually what you really want is to find balance. And I also tell people, if you've had a reading with me, you know that the vehicle to help you move from your South Node to your North Node is your Chiron. I love this. To guide you through your healing, use Spirit Quartz, a crystal of harmony and alignment. Spirit Quartz is the bridge between you and your spiritual journey or path, as it has extremely powerful and high vibrational energies. All right, sacral chakra, deep knowing, wisdom, focus, being centered. Deep knowing is intuitively based knowledge. You're intuitive on a profound level of trusting your gut. That might have been hard for you. Of trusting all your senses and trusting what cannot always be tangibly seen. That was difficult. That's when your mind would sneak in and deceive you. There is no need to keep searching for the answers externally as they lie within you. We talked about that. You have the ability to unlock your own mysteries and access ancient divine knowledge to invoke wisdom, surpass limitations, and receive powerful downloads to not only raise your own energetic vibrations, but also those of the collective. You will need to hold focus and allow space within your sacral chakra to remain open to receiving these vibrations. This is the center of your essence, emotional, creative, and sexual energies. I said that. By using sunstone, you can begin to break these barriers, as sunstone contains the energetic frequency of empowerment. Sunstone promotes self-healing and encourages you to sit within your intuitive, deep-knowing self and stand strong with your confidence to trust what you feel, yet cannot see. All right, culmination 7. Ascension, higher realms, grounding. This is it. You have reached or are fast approaching the most evolved or climactic point of the work you have been undertaking. This is from the universe. Guidance from the universe is telling you. To have ascended to this level means you have put in the effort. It has taken a toll on you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And perhaps you have experienced many uncomfortable or fear-inducing moments to get here. You have faced your darkness and your light and are coming out of this phase with a higher vibration and new perspective that the only way out is through. In order to achieve culmination, you have harnessed the energy of your root chakra, the grounded vibration of the energy centers. The root chakra defines your relationship with Mother Earth. It is your primal energy and your basic survival center. It is also your stability physically and emotionally. When your basic needs are met, the root chakra helps you feel grounded, safe, and centered. While you manage the obstacles of life, it urges you to believe in yourself and trust that you are being provided for by the universe. We talked about that stability and security. Hematite is a highly protective stone that helps absorb and transform negative energies into your positive energy vibrations. Hematite keeps you calm and grounded during stressful situations, simultaneously offering you protection. All right, lastly, but certainly not least, boundaries. 21. Protecting energy, metamorphosis, strengthening. Boundaries can act as the laws you set for yourself. You will have limits of what you accept, agree to, give in to, and be pushed to, and so on. If you consistently break your boundaries, you can be left feeling defeated, exhausted, unworthy, and used. But remember, this is your own doing. Once you begin to not live in others' expectations, you will be able to provide boundary lines not only for yourself, but for others. They will soon learn what is acceptable for them to ask of you, and you in return will be honoring your own principles. The zodiac placements in your natal chart can offer you insight into why you may or may not be allowing yourself to set the boundaries you crave. The lunar south node represents karmic tendencies and skills or emotions that have already been developed. That is your comfort zone. Think of the south node as your past, where you've been, and your accumulated strengths. It may feel ideal to remain in your south node, but if you do, you will complete the same karmic cycles over and over until you learn to evolve and move towards your future, the north node. Don't retain your strictures. Strictures. I have a feeling they meant structures, but but instead build upon the skills you have already learned. A stone you can learn from during this transitional period is labradorite, which deflects negativity and unwanted energy and acts as a barrier to energy leakage. We talked about leaky energy. Labradorite can help banish your fears and feelings of insecurity while moving from the known to the unknown. It empowers you to speak your truth, leads you to the path of enlightened wisdom, and strengthens your faith in the universe and within yourself in order to set clear-cut boundaries. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're going to ring the bell for this one. I love this bell because it has the three flowers, which reminds me of my tattoo, and it gives maternal lineage. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Thank you for letting me read for you, whoever you are, you magical, powerful being. I'm so excited for you. Like, you deserve this. You deserve everything that is about to happen. All the beautiful alignment, all the prosperity, all the healing. You're badass. You're a warrior. You're a spiritual warrior. You never give up on yourself. And that is a true testament of love. I love that. As always, if you would like to book a one-on-one, my link is down below in the description. Again, I'm hosting that event. If you're seeing this before March 12th, then come by if you're in LA. Also, my newsletter, as always, I do weekly energetic forecasts and reads, including astrological transits, returntoself.me. Enjoy, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.